Okay, let's recap what we just saw in Oklahoma's mollywhopping, skull-dragging of Houston, 49-31. Jalen Hurts broke a Baker Mayfield record. We're going to talk about it after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. I am sitting on concrete. It is like 11 o'clock at night. There are drunk people coming through that are probably going to harangue me. This is how much I love you. I'm doing this recap because, they would get upset with me in the press box if I started yelling in there. So I decided to leave so I could do my thing. All right, so first things first, I want to just go through this stuff as quickly as possibly can, but you know what happened. OU just dunked Houston into the mud. First thing was TJ Pledger, Marcus Major, Miguel Edwards, Marcus Hicks, and Jonathan Perkins were all not dressed out. Sure, Lincoln Riley will address a lot of that. We know that TJ Pledger has the thumb thing. Marcus Hicks has the hamstring thing. I hope the rest of it is just precaution. Now, you're going in there with 3 scholarship running backs, but you only needed the one because Trey Sermon had like 91 yards rushing. Looked really good straight out the gate. Took them all of 3 plays. Something is biting me. 3 plays, 61 yards, 40 seconds to get on the board against Houston. It was clear that Lincoln Riley spent the last 8 months figuring out what Jalen Hurts does well and decided we're going to run that. And ran it so well. Jalen Hurts shatters Baker Mayfield's record for total offense in a debut. Record was 396. It is 508 yards. Jalen Hurts became the first player in Oklahoma history to pass for 300 yards and rush for 150 yards. So he's already done something that Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray could not do. In the process, accounted for 6 of the 7 touchdowns scored by Oklahoma. Joe Coughlin did not know if he was coming or going. And as great as Jalen Hurts was, it was even better to see what the defense was able to do against D'Eriq King and what we thought was going to be a very, very good and potent Houston attack. Still might be, quite honestly. But you saw Kenneth Murray Jr. was a prehistoric carnivore out there, okay? In a land of toothless, defenseless prey. I feel so vindicated. Kenneth Murray Jr., 13 tackles, was running around like he had just seen the full moon and was hunting Dracula. Another fly. All of this is awesome because, check it, the storyline is going to be Jalen Hurts and what he did and how he treated Holly Rowe in the post-game interview where he just wouldn't bite on, him doing something awesome. He kept going, you know what, we were sloppy, we got to get better. I get it, but yo, man, you did something that Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield ain't never done before. You can say it's aight, it's cool. Now, short of the personal foul penalties that you got from guys like Pat Fields let a pick, a turnover, a takeaway go through the breadbasket. You had great play from Ronnie Perkins up front. Looks like he could be a top draft pick along with Kenneth Murray Jr. Keeps this up. You got great play from Jalen Redmond. Neville Gallimore looked really good. He saved a personal foul, late hit on D'Eriq King. I think Alex Grinch is going to take this and be very unhappy with the second half, while being very happy with the first half. And I think both of those things can be very, very true at the same time. Would you want to give up 31 points to Houston? No, you wouldn't. But for the longest time, you kept them to 10, right? And you kept them under 100 yards passing for a very long time. And this was a guy that came in averaging 271 yards passing per game, all right? That's what they do. Kyle Porter, Marquez Stevenson, they were supposed to light you up. That's what they were supposed to do. And you started the game. You started the season with back-to-back 3-and-out. So much so, just awesomeness there that OU fans could not feel their face because we're not used to this kind of defense being played at Oklahoma, which goes back to that whole thing where I was saying get Mike Stoops the hell out of Norman, and you would have probably had 2 back-to-back national championships. Well, now you're getting to see what that looks like when the dude just comes in with the same personnel, runs a different scheme, and you know what? Nobody needed to check with me. Everybody knew where they were supposed to go. Everybody knew what they were supposed to do. Everybody looked good. They looked decent. Now, discipline is going to have to get cleaned up, right? Obviously. But everybody else has allowed their week 1 mulligans. I'm sure that some of you will allow the defense to work some stuff out. But what you know is it ain't the defense that you saw to end the season last year, right? Now, Houston ain't Alabama. But you get the point there. You take care of the stuff that you can take care of, most of the other stuff will fall into place. Because this is also a game which you didn't get a takeaway. Put the ball on the ground, like forced a fumble, had an opportunity to go get the ball. You got turnover on downs, but you didn't take the ball away like my man's did to Ramondre Stevenson. Like Ramondre got mugged, point blank, in broad daylight. I don't understand how you're gonna let that slide. Matter of fact, I was shocked to see Jay Boulware let the man roll back through there and run the ball and score a touchdown, because if that was Abdul Adams, we know he wouldn't have touched the ball never again. But you also only had one scholarship running back left, and I think if Marcus Major or TJ Pledger were ready to go, Ramondre Stevenson would have seen the bench. But outside of that, Jaden Hazelwood showed up, 2 catches, 46 yards. He was the breakout freshman of all the freshmen. I had Trajan Bridges in that prop bet. I lost that prop bet. Jaden Hazelwood apparently was a monster in camp and is continuing to do big things at Oklahoma, I hope. We'll see. But 2 catches, 46 yards, was able to take a pass over the middle, do something extra with it. 5-star catch, 5-star run after the catch. Charleston Rambo wanted y'all to know that he really is being slept on, because he took an intermediate passing route from Jalen Hurts and turned on the Jets. He was faster than any bullet coming out of John Rambo's bullets, all right? Or coming out of his gun, not his bullets, coming out of his gun. There's another line in there about Rambo drawing first blood in the second half, but I didn't say it, so it's okay. Another thing that I thought was really cool and really interesting to see was how many guys were able to get involved in this offense, while it was also all Jalen Hurts, who had 176 yards rushing. Because, yeah, I would not want to see him run the ball as much as I wanted as he ran the ball, but there were 2 plays that stuck out. One was on the run to his right, he found CeeDee Lamb in a busted coverage, 47-yard TD pass. Cool. Felt like that was a shot at RJ saying, yo, RJ, sit down, I can throw that deep passing route. Yeah, well, later on in the game, he missed CeeDee Lamb. No, he missed CeeDee Lamb earlier in the game because he tried to force it down the field to Nick Basquin, and CeeDee looked at him like, yo, man, I was wide open. But later in the game, he showed he still can't make that throw deep to his left, and that's going to need to get worked out or worked on, but I don't think it's going to be any fixing it. I think this is the offense that you're going to see, and they're going to have that 300-yard rushing game, 300-yard pass game, and everybody's going to be fine. But the difference there is going to be what the defense does. And as long as Alex Grinch keeps trending in the direction that we think he's going to be trending in with this defense and stops fighting me because I'm outside doing this recap video, going to be okay. All right, I'm going to go find some bug spray, and I'm going to drive home. All right, deuces.